tonight. Notice I said y'all and not kids. And I earned the right to say y'all because I spent 10 years in Florida. People get confused. They don't realize that Florida's the South because they see the palm trees and sunshine and beaches. So it's easy to forget until you're sitting at an intersection with a Circle K here, a church here, a funeral home here, and a titty bar over there. Behind a pickup truck with a Confederate flag in the back window and a bumper sticker that says, "My wife yes, my dog maybe, my gun never." Welcome to the South. There are lots of interesting things to see in Florida. I spent 10 years in Tampa, and one of my favorite roads to drive was Gandy Boulevard. It was part causeway because it came from Tampa into St. Petersburg. And the causeway was always an interesting thing to see because it was one of the official redneck beaches in Florida, where the official bathing suit was cut-off jeans. And one day I was driving down Gandy, and I saw what looked like a food truck. And I thought, that's interesting, right? The food trucks have finally made it over the causeway from the downtown area. But as I got up on it, I realized it wasn't a food truck. It was a mobile tattoo parlor. And I thought to myself, awesome, you can catch some rays, some grouper, ink it for posterity, and you don't even have to put your shoes on. That's awesome. So I came back to Pittsburgh last June after 25 years of being in other places. And I thought I was staying for the summer, but as per usual in my life, the universe did not get my memo. So I'm still here. And a few months into being here, when I realized I was going to stay, I thought, you know what, I really need to find some work. And how many artists do we have in the room? Yeah, you know what that's like, right? Your resume looks like the Spoon River Anthology, one right after the other in jobs. And I've actually had some pretty cool jobs since I left my corporate day job in 1998. And I've been a teacher, I've been an outplacement counselor, I was a ranch hand for a while, which is really cool because I actually got to shovel shit with a shovel instead of just doing it the way I did it when I had my sales job. I was a scent profiler, which was a really wonderful gig. And then I did some voiceover work in porn. Now, any of you who are actors, you don't be blushing or going all precious moments and strawberry shortcake. Because the porn industry is the largest industry in the world. And when you are an artist, whether you're a writer, a singer, a performer, an actor, no matter what you're creating, you do what you have to do to pay the bills, right? So it was actually a pretty cool gig. I was sent a slideshow of very tasteful pictures of a woman undressing, and I had to write a story to go with it, and then I got to record the audio. So it was a really cool gig. They paid me like $65, $75 a pop. So I did a half a dozen or so a month, and it was a nice chunk of income. Until I had dinner with my friend Matt, who said to me, as I shared with him my latest cash influx method, so let me get this straight. If your dad or your brother were surfing for porn on the internet, and they found somebody that they wanted to see more of, and they clicked the button, they'd see her getting undressed and hear your voice. That was the end of that gig. That was the end of it. So when I came back up, I moved in with my mom for a little while, and she's here in the audience tonight. She is one of the most amazing women I know, who is very courageous, talented, and creative. And I'm really happy we have the relationship that we do, because a lot of my female friends cannot be in the same room with their mothers for 5 minutes without it deteriorating into a war of some kind, whether it's physical or verbal. And my mother and I slept 8 feet away from each other for 9 months, and we're both here to tell the tale. So I think we both deserve it. And we do a lot of stuff together. One of the things we do is usher. And those of you who are in the arts know that is the best way to see theater, because you stop some programs and you show someone to their seat, and you get to see the play for free. So we have done a lot of work over at the New Hazlitt, and I signed us up to do something called the Untitled Feminist Show. Well, that's a good fit, right? Both of us are fairly feminist-oriented. So we get there, and the house manager says to both of us, I'm so glad you guys are here, because I trust you, and I need you on creep duty. I need one of you in each side. I don't know if you've been to the New Hazlitt, but there are balconies on each side of the stage. I need one of you on each side. There'll be no patrons seated up there, but I would need you to keep an eye on the center section for people taking photographs and video, because all 6 of the performers are going to be naked the entire time. Okay. So we go up to the balconies, and I'm across from my mom, and I'm watching her watch the show. And some of it was gratuitous, in my opinion, but it was very interesting to see the one young woman come out to the edge of the stage and flirt with the guys in the audience, being very coquettish, and until she started miming sex acts on stage. And she started doing this, looking at one of the guys, and then she did some other things that I won't do in mixed company because I don't know you all very well. But it was, and I'm thinking to myself, does my mom know what she's doing? And if she doesn't, am I going to have to explain it? And if she does, that's just something I don't even want to do. But as I'm watching her watch the show, I had 2 thoughts. The first was, I am neither young enough nor hip enough any longer to get what this is. So and my second thought was, I am going to owe her tutti frutti for life for dragging her here to this show. One of the other things that happened that was pretty funny was we were watching Katie Couric one day. This was pretty soon after I come back to Pittsburgh, and Katie Couric's typically pretty G, maybe PG rated thing. Well, this particular day, the whole show was about sex. And I thought, well, okay, we talk about a lot of different things. We're both adults, whatever, I'll deal with it. So I sat there and watched the show, and everything was fine until she brought out the sex therapist to talk about furries. I don't know what furries are, but for those of you who are not indoctrinated, they are people who like dressing up in furry animal costumes and having sex. And I'm thinking to myself, do I not have a plane to Haiti that I got to catch? I don't know that I can stand here or sit here and watch this with my mom. So I felt the discomfort. It was more than a little awkward for me. And then at the commercial break, my mom turns to me and says, really? If 2 people want to dress up in furry animal costumes and have anal sex, that's their own business. Got it covered. And I found one thing in the paper that I jotted down and I wanted to share with you before I leave the stage. And now that I need bifocals and don't have them, with the regular glasses on top of my head. In the jungles of the urban wild, scientists have discovered a new species in the Homo genus, Duchus vagiolix. These quasi-humans, who are actually a precursor to Homo sapiens, can be found talking on cell phones while driving, ignoring people in need of a helping hand, and crossing against red lights. They also possess narcissistic levels of self-involvement and enormous amounts of self-entitlement. One scientist on the discovery team noted, although their opposable thumbs have not fully developed, it's amazing how far up their asses they can get them to go.